My favorite Nintendo 64 game of all time is The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask? Why not the timeless classic Ocarina of Time? It's a better game in my opinion.
Are you high or just incredibly stupid?
I assure you, I am not high.
Before I really get into talking about the game itself, I'd like to go over why I think Majora's Mask is better than Ocarina of Time. Number 1. Better dungeons and puzzles. In Ocarina of Time, the only dungeon that I really enjoyed was the Forest Temple. The other dungeons were too easy, and I found myself just rushing through them with no real challenge. In Majora's Mask, however, the dungeons really challenged me, and all of them were really fun. Number 2. Transformation masks. The transformation masks really made Majora's Mask for me. The fact that you can change into a different race from Hyrule sounds cool by itself, but the fact that they have their own attacks and abilities makes it fucking sweet! Number 3. The atmosphere. Majora's Mask is one of the darkest games I've ever played. Don't get me wrong, Ocarina of Time had its fair share of dark shit, but it doesn't even come close to the real, genuine fear that Majora's Mask gives you. The fact that you are on a time limit to complete each dungeon before the moon falls and kills everyone in Termina is downright depressing. Aside from how dark the game is, Majora's Mask also features improved graphics and sound, which is always a nice touch. Majora's Mask on its own is still an amazing game. The game has some of the best graphics on the system, rivaling games like Perfect Dark and Conker's Bad Fur Day. The gameplay is pretty much the exact same as Ocarina of Time. You can call it lazy game design, but I personally have no problem with improving on something that's already great. I know I've already talked about the atmosphere, but I just want to say that Persona 3 and Majora's Mask are the only two games I've played that have genuinely scared me. The game also had some fun side quests too, like getting all the masks, pieces of heart, empty bottles, and upgrading your sword. By far, my favorite side quest had to be the Goron races. It's a fun way to kill some time, and if Nintendo added a multiplayer feature to this minigame, many fun hours would be had. The temples in this game are fun and challenging. I like the Woodfall Temple because it's a great first dungeon and adds some fun puzzles. I like the Snowhead Temple because the Goron platforming is fun and a bit of a challenge. The boss, Got, is one of my favorite bosses ever, being fast-paced and really fun. I like the Great Bay Temple because swimming as a Zora is cool, and the Ice Arrow platforming is a really cool idea. The final temple, the Stone Tower Temple, kinda sucks because it's confusing, really hard, and a bit nauseating. To paraphrase, Majora's Mask is an amazing game. It is dark, fun, and challenging. It's not perfect, but you'll have a great time playing it. The main story is a bit short, but there's so many extra hours and all the side quests and collection you get to do. The game does so many unique things that it deserves its place in history and is easily my favorite Nintendo 64 game of all time.